educator in ISKCON and has been teaching for over 3 decades. She is also an author of this wonderful new book that just got published called The Living Gita. We will talk about that. I'm sure Mataji will speak about it, and we'll also talk about this at the end of the class. She's an instructor for various Shastric studies across ISKCON and is also the ISKCON Zonal Supervisor for Texas. She's known for her deep, insightful, and practical classes that present Vedic scriptures in a very relatable fashion. Today, as we're getting ready for 2 weeks' time for the most wonderful, the most exciting festival of Jagannatha Ratha Yatra, Mataji will be speaking on how Jagannatha Ratha Yatra talks about compassion beyond boundaries. So let us loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to welcome Prabhupada Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Nice to be here with all of you again. Should I sing Jai Radha Madhava? Okay. Thank you. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo Hare Krishna. So we'll start with a little Mangala Charanam to invoke auspiciousness and invoke the blessings of the Lord and all of the acharyas, our spiritual teachers, before I begin to speak. I'd just like to humbly request everyone to stop conversations during the class so that everyone can focus. Thank you very much. So if you know these prayers, then kindly join me and we'll chant them together. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Thank you. So the topic for today is Ratha Yatra. And I'm remembering just last spring, wasn't it? That I came here and I came down on a bus. And I was sitting on the bus for a 3-hour journey. And all of a sudden the thought came to me from the Paramatma, Krishna within the heart. He's like, you know what would be really good for Austin is Ratha Yatra. And so I came and we did the program and I met with the management team here at the temple. And we all sat together in a circle on the floor and we were talking. And I suggested, you know, it'd be really nice for this community and I think would make Krishna happy and all the devotees happy and potentially in the long-term future bring all the devotee communities of Austin together is Ratha Yatra. And then I suggested, just start off small, just do something, you know, just on your own property, get a little cart, and you've got Jagannath, Baladev and Subhaji here, put them on the cart, take them around, get everyone involved in doing some offering, some service, kirtan, prasadam, and just start like that, and then see where Jagannath takes you. And then they just, within a very short, like as soon as I said it, everyone was just like, yes, we got to do this. And we can do this, and I can do that, and how about this? And yeah, they just like immediately got this transcendentally ecstatic vision of how this Ratha Yatra was going to manifest here at Round Rock Temple. And they did it in a very short time. Like everything just miraculously came together. was hearing this morning about how just like within 3 days, a devotee just slammed together this beautiful Ratha Yatra cart. And I saw some videos afterwards. I wasn't able to make it because I think I was traveling, but I saw videos and I was like, wow, you guys did it. Like, congratulations, it was so epic. And so now we're going to do another Ratha Yatra, July 5th, right? And this time it's going beyond the temple property. It's going to, where is it going to be held at exactly? Lakewood Park. So public park. So they're taking Jagannath to the streets, which is where Jagannath likes to be, because this is a tradition from ancient times that Lord Jagannath, he goes out to the street and gives his darshan, gives his merciful glance and blessings to all those people who wouldn't come to the temple to see him. He goes to see them. So that's what we're talking about today, is this mood of compassion that's very much associated with Jagannatha Ratha Yatra. Compassion and inclusivity. So Jagannath is a very special form of the Lord. And for those who are not familiar with Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, they're right here on the right-hand altar. So you can see the small deities with big eyes and big smiles. And, their arms are a little different. They don't have hands with fingers. They're kind of like little stump-like arms. And they don't have legs. They have their base is just solid. So they're very different, and some might say kind of like a primitive-looking deity. But these deities have that form for a special reason. And that's because Jagannath is Krishna in his most ecstatic feature. And so Jagannath is the black one. The white one on the left is Baladev, or Balaram, who's Krishna's older brother, in his most ecstatic feature. And then the small one in the middle, the yellow one, is Lady Subhadra. And she is Krishna's sister, Subhadra, in her most ecstatic feature. So how did they get these ecstatic features? And how is that form a symptom of ecstasy? So first of all, we'll tell that story, and then we'll get into compassion. Why this form is the most compassionate form also. So it all started off in Dwarka, where there was a gathering of Rohini, who is Balaram's mother. And Rohini had been in Vrindavan with Krishna and Balaram during their childhood pastimes in Vraj. So she witnessed all their childhood pastimes, from the time Krishna made his transcendental appearance in Vrindavan as a baby, crawling around in the courtyard of his father Nanda Maharaj, stealing butter, right? All these famous stories of Makhan Chor, Krishna as the butter thief, stealing butter, and then when he got little older, going out into the pasturing grounds, taking the calves and then taking the cows and playing all kinds of sports and fun and games with his friends, the other cowherd boys in the pasturing fields of Vrindavan, and how, he met Srimati Radharani, his eternal consort, and all of their loving dealings. So Rohini was there. But then, so she witnessed all these things. She experienced them firsthand. And she's the only person from Vrindavan, apart from Krishna, who goes to Dwarka and then lives in Dwarka permanently after that. So one day in Dwarka, so now Krishna's already in Dwarka, and he's, an adult, young adult, and he's married, and he has these 16,108 beautiful queens in Dwarka. And they've never been to Vrindavan. They weren't there when Krishna is in Vrindavan. But sometimes they hear Krishna in his sleep. Sometimes he talks in his sleep, and he's dreaming of Vrindavan, and he's remembering his dear mother Yashoda and father Nanda Maharaj, and he's remembering the gopis, and he's chanting the name Radha, Radha, oh Radhe, and they understand that Vrindavan and the Brajbasis, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, are very, very dear. They hold a very special and deep place in Krishna's heart. So they're very interested to know. And also because they love Krishna, they're Krishna's wives. So, when you have a very close relationship with someone, you want to know everything about them. because you love them. You just want to appreciate every facet of their personality. And so you're going to ask them, how was your childhood? What did you like to do when you were a child? Who were your friends? What was your favorite, whatever, when you were a kid? And so they want to know about Krishna's childhood. So then they go to Rohini, knowing that she was there, and they ask her, please tell us about Krishna's childhood pastimes in Vrindavan. And then she's like, oh, that's a very deep topic. And she's hesitant. And they're like, no, tell us something, at least anything about Krishna in Vrindavan. We're dying to hear, we really want to know. And she's like, this is dangerous. And they're like, why is it dangerous? And they said, if Krishna hears some narration about his Vrindavan pastimes, he's going to become so ecstatic, he's going to become so attracted that he might just run away to Vrindavan, like this very day, and we may never see him again. So if I'm going to tell you about Vrindavan Leela, we need to just lock the doors. We need to make sure that Krishna will not in any way be able to hear what we're saying. So then they're like, okay, we can do that. Just be in this room, we'll lock the door, and we'll put a guard at the door to make sure that Krishna doesn't come. And if Krishna comes, that guard will alert us, and we'll just stop talking immediately. So then Rohini says, okay, then Subhadra, you go and be the guard. You stand guard at the door. So then they lock the door. Subhadra's outside, and so Rohini starts talking. So she's telling all about Vraj Leela. And then Subhadra, she's at the door and she's listening. And just hearing those pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, she's like, what? Wow. Her eyes get all big, huge smile comes to her face. And then she becomes so ecstatic that, so there are different symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, of love for Krishna, which are actually outlined in a book by Rupa Goswami called the Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu, and which are exhibited by Lord Chaitanya in his manifest pastimes and are told about in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we hear these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya when he's feeling very, very intense separation from Krishna, because he's Krishna, but he's in the mood of Srimati Radharani, feeling separation from Krishna. So when he's thinking about Vrindavan and Krishna, then he gets ecstatic, and sometimes his eyes will get very big, tears will just shoot out of his eyes, and sometimes his body will start trembling. And when it gets very, very intense, sometimes the limbs of his body, either they'll become completely elongated, like all of his joints will pop out, and his arm will pop out of the shoulder, and this forearm will pop out of the elbow, and all of his arm will just be elongated and limp like spaghetti noodles, like like that. And or sometimes the opposite will happen, is that his limbs will actually go inside his torso, and he'll appear just like a ball kind of thing. His limbs will become inverted inside his body. So these are like very extreme ecstatic symptoms that generally ordinary humans don't exhibit, but personalities who are like, Shakti Avesha avatars, like avatars from the spiritual world, eternal associates of the Lord, or the Lord himself, will sometimes exhibit. So Lord Chaitanya showed us this pastime so this happened to Subhadra when she was hearing the pastimes of Lord Jagannath, is that her arms and legs just went and so that's why in this form we see that Subhadra doesn't have any arms at all. They're like inside her torso, and legs also are not there, nor hands nor feet. She's just body and head and torso, and big huge smile and big eyes, and stunned like that in that form in ecstasy. So that's how she acquired that form. So then Krishna comes along. And Krishna, he's just walking past the entrance to the room, and he sees his sister, Subhadra, in this stunned in ecstasy, in this unprecedented form. He's never seen her like that before, and he's like, what happened to her? And then he hears some muffled voices from behind the door, and he's like, it must have something to do with what she's hearing. So then he puts his head to the door, and then same thing happens, big eyes, ecstatic smile, and then his limbs also become the same way as Subhadra's. So those are the two of them there. And then Lord Balaram comes, and Lord Balaram's the older brother, so he has a little bit of a protective mood towards his younger brother Krishna, and obviously to Subhadra because she's the younger sister. And so he sees them, and he's like, oh my God, what happened? What are these two? And then he also goes and listens, and then the same thing happens to him. So then they end up like that. And then after that, Narada Muni comes. Narada Muni, the traveling sage, he comes along and he sees them like that. And then as soon as they see Narada Muni, they immediately go back to their normal forms. And then they tell Narada Muni, Narada, you didn't see anything. He's like, oh no, I saw. No, you didn't see anything. I saw. I cannot unsee it. And he said, okay, but don't tell anybody. And then they said, okay, if you give me a benediction, then I promise that I won't tell anyone what I saw. I won't describe what I saw. And they said, okay, any benediction, but you can't let this out of the bag, you know. So then Narada Muni says, okay, the benediction I ask is that at least one day a year you will go out and you will show this form to the whole world. You'll display this form to everyone, whether they're qualified or unqualified. So they said, okay, well, you kind of tricked us, but we agree. We'll keep our word and give you that benediction. So therefore, one day of the year, the Lord goes out on Ratha Yatra and he displays this ecstatic form. So, and the reason that this is the form that leaves the temple is precisely because it's the form in which the Lord is most ecstatic. So sometimes you may experience yourself, or you may have observed in other people, that when someone becomes very, very happy, what happens? The heart opens and they become very generous, right? They become very, very giving. And like, let's say if a child is born. So a child is born, the parents become very, very happy and they just want to give gifts to everyone, right? And we see that in Vrindavan when Krishna was born, Nanda Maharaj holds a festival and he's just giving everything. He's giving cows to the Brahmins, he's giving wealth, he's giving silks and jewelry, gold and everything. He's giving food to anyone who comes, and even to the animals, the dogs and the birds, and just giving everything. Even going into the house and just getting household items and passing them out to random guests that come. It's like so generous. And or if somebody, let's say the daughter gets married, so then all the guests who come to the wedding, they want to give something. Feed them to the hilt. Eat more, you know, take gifts, take donations, take, something to go with. So like this, whenever somebody's very, very happy, then they become more generous. And so Krishna, in this most ecstatic feature of Lord Jagannath, he's also most generous. And so what is he giving? He wants to give blessings. He wants to give that happiness. Right? Because when we're happy, then happiness is something that it overflows. Usually, like love and happiness are two things that when they're in the heart, they're so big that they overflow. And we want to give them to others. So Lord Jagannath, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he knows that whenever anyone comes to the temple to see him, then he casts his beautiful big-eyed glance and his big smiles, merciful glance, and he gives so much mercy to whoever comes to see him. But he also knows there's so many people out there that are not inclined to come and see him, and he wants them to be happy too. So he's in that state of happiness. I want to give happiness not just to the people, to the devotees and, pious people who come and see me, but I want to give happiness to everyone. And so he goes out on the street to share that happiness, to give that merciful glance, to give that feeling of transcendental love to everyone who happens to see him. And there's so many stories of people who are just random people, maybe not even theists, they don't even believe in God. They have no idea what Ratha Yatra is or means or represents, but they just happen to be walking down the street on, a Sunday afternoon when this is specifically like one time I was on London, Ratha Yatra in London. So they have a big Ratha Yatra. And this woman was just out shopping. You know, she was just walking down the street, central London, and going in and out of shops, and she popped out of one shop, and she just happens to see this huge cart, you know, the huge canopy, and so many people, a lot of noise, mridungas, kartals, singing, and she looked, and as soon as she looked at the cart and saw the deities, without even thinking, she didn't even have time to reflect on what she was seeing, and just tears like shot out of her eyes, like not dripping down her cheeks, but literally like a syringe, like a squirt gun. They like shot, you know, like 4 feet in front of her. And she was like, what just happened? And she was so surprised. She was like astonished by the experience that she just had, that she approached one of the devotees who was in the procession, and she said, something strange just happened to me when I looked at that cart. And she told him, and he said that this is a symptom of the soul's, it's an expression of the innate love and happiness of the soul. That when the soul connects with something spiritually powerful, like the presence of the Lord, then it transcends the mind, it transcends the senses, it transcends any, you know, opinions or beliefs we have about ourselves and the nature of reality, and it just like goes straight to the heart, and it wakens something up, and there's like an explosion. So she was like, yeah, this is real. So that's Lord Jagannath. He's so compassionate. He doesn't consider who's qualified, who's unqualified. He just wants to make everyone happy. He wants to connect with everyone. He wants to bless everyone. And that's his great, great compassion. So, yeah. And Lord Jagannath, his name literally means the Lord of the universe, right? Jagat means universe, and Nath means the Lord. So Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. He's not just the Lord of the devotees. He's not just the Lord of Jagannath Puri, where the famous Jagannath temple is. He's not just the Lord of India, where many people revere him. But he's the Lord of the whole universe. So he wants everyone in the universe to have a connection with him. He wants to bless everyone in the universe. And so, you know, part of our Srila Prabhupada's mission was to bring Lord Jagannath all over the world, at least this planet, you know. And who knows, maybe Prabhupada is somewhere else on some other planet in the universe starting Ratha Yatra. Some people say that because some people wonder, like, you know, after Srila Prabhupada departed, did he go to Goloka Vrindavan? Did he go back to the spiritual world with Krishna, or did he go somewhere else? And most of his disciples who know him very closely, who had like intimate personal exchanges with Prabhupada, most of them are of the opinion, they'll speculate at least, that Prabhupada, he was so much in the mood of giving Krishna consciousness to the fallen souls of this world that he probably wouldn't be peaceful going back home, back to Godhead. He would want to stay. He'd be like, all right, I've laid out the blueprint. I've created the framework for Krishna consciousness on this planet, right? He circumambulated the planet like 14 times, and he started temples on every continent and in 108 cities, major cities of the world. He thought, okay, the foundation is laid, and now my disciples are going to fill it in. They're going to build on this foundation, and this planet is going to be in good hands. Krishna consciousness can blossom and take hold firmly on this planet. Now it's time to move on to the next one. So intergalactic preaching. And I remember his disciples like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he was like, I'm not interested in going back to Godhead. I just want to go wherever Srila Prabhupada is, and I'm sure he's somewhere in this universe preaching Krishna consciousness. So if that's true, then we can be sure that Prabhupada is having Ratha Yatras on other planets, so that the Lord of the universe is recognized as the Lord of the whole universe, and not just some small place. So, yeah. And the whole universe means all the people. That Lord Jagannath wants to give his mercy to all the people of the universe, not just to one race of people or one ethnic group, but everyone from every walk of life, every tradition, every background, every nationality. And one devotee was saying one time that we see Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. So between the three of them, one is black, one is white, and one is in between. So they don't represent any particular race. They represent all the from black to white to all shades in between, all people. Jagannath is the Lord of all people from all different races and cultures and nationalities. So we also, we are servants of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, and as their servants we need to follow in their footsteps and also share Krishna consciousness. Extend the Lord's mercy to all people, all over the universe, or at least wherever we can go within the universe, and take up their mission. So to try to distribute happiness. So how do we distribute happiness? It means to distribute the process by which people can actually become happy, right? Because you can be happy yourself and you can want others to become happy, but happiness is not like a thing, right? Like I have this book, I can just give you the book. But happiness is not like that you can just be like, oh, I have some happiness, let me give you happiness. It doesn't work like that. You have to, their happiness has to come from within their own heart, from within their own soul. And so what we can give them is the process to awaken their own innate, eternal happiness, the ananda of the soul. Because every soul is sat, chit, ananda, eternal, full of knowledge, and full of bliss. So when we distribute scriptures, when we teach people how to chant the holy name, the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then we're giving them the process to awaken their own spiritual happiness from within. And that's how we give people happiness. So then that's what Jagannatha wants us to do, right? And then, so how should we do this? We need to be generous, to give very generously. Just as Lord Jagannath is very, very generous, very happy, and therefore very generous. So, and we shouldn't feel like, well, if I'm just giving and people aren't giving back, then maybe I'm going to become spiritually drained. That's not how Krishna consciousness works. Krishna consciousness, and when we give Krishna consciousness, the more we give, the more we get, because it's unlimited. And happiness comes from the Lord, right? That's why in the Mahamantra we have the word Rama. So Rama means the reservoir of pleasure. It means that he's the source of happiness. So it's like you have a water reservoir. It's the source of water for the city. So to get that water, you need to have a pipeline that's connected. And then the water just flows, right? It flows by gravity right down to your house. You open the tap, and because you're connected with the pipeline to the reservoir of water. So this Mahamantra is our pipeline that connects us to the reservoir of pleasure, the reservoir of spiritual happiness. And so when we give other people the mantra, we become more, we please Krishna, and the connection to Krishna becomes stronger. So that means our pipeline expands. If you have just a small pipe, you can only get limited water, right? But if you have like a big pipe, like a big culvert pipe, then you can get flooded with water like in 30 seconds, right? So the more we give Krishna consciousness, the more it increases the diameter of our pipeline of transcendental happiness, and then happiness flows more and more to us, and also our capacity to give also increases. So the more we give, the more we get, and the more we get, the more we can give, and the more we give, the more we get, and it's just this upward spiral of ever-increasing transcendental bliss. Like Lord Chaitanya says, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. So, and then the other thing that we can, following in Lord Jagannath's footsteps, is to, in giving happiness, is that we need to reach out. We need to go out. Right? It's nice that we all come together. We come to the temple, we do kirtan, we chant and dance, and we're happy together. But we need to go beyond the walls of the temple, or beyond the walls of our Krishna's conscious homes and regular sanghas, and really go out there, like Lord Jagannath does. He gets out of his comfort zone of the altar here, and he goes out. And he goes out in the summertime in Austin, very hot. Maybe sometimes it's raining or it's windy. And who knows, maybe he's going to see things there, some billboards that are advertising some, things that aren't very pleasing to him. Whatever, he might see some people doing things that, maybe he's like not very pleased with. But he gets out of his comfort zone and he goes out there to give happiness, to share his mercy with the people. So in the same way, too, we need to get out of our comfort zones and go out there and hit the streets and connect with people, talk to people, and share spiritual knowledge with them. Give them spiritual books, Prabhupada's books, or books that are elucidating Prabhupada's books that are somehow making the teachings of Krishna consciousness, the teachings of Krishna accessible to people out there, and teaching them the holy name in the process. And then finally, to be inclusive, right? So then when we do go out, when we do try to share Krishna consciousness with people, don't be too discriminatory. When you see somebody walking, don't think, oh, that person will never be a devotee, oh, that person is way too far gone, or that person is, I can see they're totally in a different cultural, different religion, they'll never be interested. Don't create barriers like that. Just be inclusive. Just whoever you meet, everyone is a soul. And every soul has an eternal relationship with Krishna. That's who we are as souls, is that we literally are eternal servants of Krishna, right? Does the verse go? Jivera Swarapahoy Krishnara Nityadas. That every soul, every jiva, everyone who has life, so not just humans, but also animals, plants, insects, birds, everything, every jiva. It means any being that is alive. Jivera Swarapahoy Krishnara Nityadas is Krishna's eternal servant. And so we shouldn't discriminate on the basis of the body or age or gender or religion or culture or ethnicity or nationality, anything. Just try to see the jiva, that this person is alive, they're a soul, they have an intimate connection with Krishna, they're a part and parcel of Krishna. And just temporarily, due to circumstances, they're separated, they've forgotten Krishna, but actually they have an intimate relationship. They're a very dear, loving servant of Krishna. And they just need to be reminded. So let me just be the one to tap them on the shoulder and be like, hey, little jiva, you're an eternal servant of Krishna. Read this book. It's going to help you understand like who we are, who is our purpose, what are we meant to do in this world, what is the ultimate goal, how to achieve it. So this is, if we have this vision, this spiritual vision, right? Vidya Vinaya Sampane, Brahmane Gavihastini, Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha, Pandita Samadarshinaha. That Krishna says that a person who is truly learned, a person who is really a pandit, is one who sees all living beings, whether it's a human being or an elephant or a dog or a higher class person or apparently lower class person, who sees beyond all that and sees that they're all actually equal. Sama Darshina, they have equal vision. Because they see them as souls, they see them as parts and parcels. That person is truly learned. So we should try to have that spiritual vision and see everyone, and just see how everyone is included in in our spiritual sangha. Everyone has a part, whether they've realized it or not. Whether they're presently a devotee or in the future they're going to be a devotee. Everyone is at heart a devotee. It's just a matter of time. And they're just waiting. They're just waiting for that connection. And Krishna is also waiting for us to be his instruments in forging the connection, in bringing people back to Krishna. So this is what it means to worship Lord Jagannath, is to take up the mission of Lord Jagannath, right? To do what Lord Jagannath does, to distribute happiness to people, to do it very generously, to reach out, to get out there and meet people who otherwise wouldn't come on their own, and to be very inclusive, to have spiritual vision, and to just break through any barriers or boundaries, smash down all the walls, and share Krishna consciousness with everyone, and being sensitive to what they're ready for, to where they're at, and how we can connect them where they are to something, to some level of Krishna consciousness, even if it's only prasadam, right, or something. It's a start. Okay, so Yeah, so we can all play a part in re-establishing. Of course, Lord Jagannath is always the Lord of the universe, but not everybody recognizes him as that. So we can make him famous as the Lord of the universe by bringing everyone in the universe, or at least on this planet, or at least in Austin, Texas, to the lotus feet, to the supreme blissful shelter of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. Jai. So, can we have time for questions or reflections? Okay. The boss is saying one question. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mata. Thank you so much for that wonderful class. So I just have this question, like when we go out for book distributions and we try to give books, sometimes like people won't even look and they are just like, we don't want, or we don't do. So it's okay for us, but an iota of hesitation sometimes creep in, like to we approach people like 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Like what do we think in that moment? And how to convince such people?
Yeah, I mean, if people are just totally not interested and they are very clear in their speech or lack of it or body language that they are not interested at all, then, it's best to not be pushy, right? Because, oh, that's my phone. It'll stop. Yeah. Don't be forceful, because that can backfire. That can make people be, become antagonistic. Like, oh, this person is just like trying to push their religion on me. Like they don't have any sensitivity to my, my feelings, my needs. So it's best to not be pushy, but we can still, think kindly of the person, because somehow that person was fortunate to even see a devotee, that, it's rare to even just like see a devotee. Okay, I just have to turn off my phone. Oh, no. Somebody is very persistent. Sorry about this. Put on airplane mode. Okay. Very good. Sorry about that. So what was I saying? Oh, that we can just think kindly about the person. Think that somehow or other this person came into my association. They may not have been able to appreciate what I have to offer, but somehow Krishna brought them into contact with me in some sense and inspired me to at least say, excuse me, or hi there, or whatever. And so that's the beginning. Like that's the first... we have to start. Everyone has to start somewhere. So that was their start. That was their little start. That they saw a devotee. That a devotee looked at them. That a devotee spoke to them. And see, Krishna is he's so favorably disposed towards his devotees that in distributing his mercy, he's not independent. He says that to Durvasa Muni when Durvasa Muni comes and takes shelter of him trying to get free from the Sudarshan Chakra. Anyways, that's a whole other story from Srimad Bhagavatam. But in that verse he says, I am not at all independent. I'm completely dependent on my devotees. So, and specifically in who he distributes mercy to, Krishna defers to his devotees. So if a devotee is feeling very kind towards a person, is giving their attention to a person, or seeing that person with eyes of compassion, then Krishna will also put his glance there. He'll also let his mercy flow in that direction. So even if the person is not responsive, we can just think kindly of them. We can say a little prayer for them, or send some nice positive spiritual vibrations in their direction, and just let Krishna make proper arrangements for that person's spiritual future. Right? Yeah. Okay. I guess our time's up. So, very happy to be here with you. Thank you all so much for being here, for listening, and yeah, Ratha Yatra is happening in 2 weeks, so make sure you're there. Don't miss it. Shri Shri Jagannatha Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Kunja Bihari ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi Hadi Hadi Bo. Jai.
Let's give a round of applause for Prabhupada Priya. I do want to say that in order for Rath Yatra to take place here in Austin, it would have not been possible if it wasn't for Prabhupada Priya Mataji's enthusiasm and encouragement. So it was last year, almost to the year actually, in June, when Mataji had come. This is the first time many of us were meeting her, and we had just finished our parking lot, just finished it. And we were, sharing with Mataji, and she said, you have this new parking lot, you should do a Rath Yatra. And we didn't really we were, some of us individually maybe thinking, but really never kind of, fructified. And then Mataji said that, and that was it. It fanned that spark. So, we are really grateful to you for inspiring us, because I don't think we would have thought of doing it, or we did not think it would be possible to do it, but you really inspired us that day to help us fan that spark, and we just got to see magic happen last year, and by Jagannath's mercy, we'll continue to see magic happen this year as well. So thank you so much.
One day, there's going to be a huge Austin Ratha Yatra with 3 carts going down the main streets of Austin with hundreds and thousands of people, just like San Francisco or New York, or, it's just only time is separating.
Thank you so much for saying that. Next part of the program is Aarti. We request everyone to please rise, and you can come closer for Aarti. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama everyone together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare One more time, all together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Jai Shri Shri Krishna Bihari ki, Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki,
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Astottara Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Purushottam Kshetra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. ISKCONofRoundRock Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Shri Ratha Yatra Mahotsava Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Lada Daine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha. Yato yato yami tato narsingha. Yato yato yami tato narsingha. Bahe narsimha hridaye narsimha. Bahe narsimha hridaye narsimha. Narasimha madim sharanam prapade. Narasimha madim sharanam prapade. Tavakara kamalavare nakam adbhuta shringa dalita hiranyakashipu tanu bringa keshavadrita narahari rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Karakamalavare Kashringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Jai Jai Nrsimha Dev. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jai Nrsimha Dev. Jaya Nrsimha Dev, Nrsimha Dev, Nrsimha Dev, Jaya Nrsimha Dev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Bolo Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.